I have a course site that I've had for many years, and I need to migrate away from my current provider, unfortunately, because their prices are getting ridiculous. It's a pretty simple front-end site. It does have a back-end where you can watch course videos and buy courses, and I can do administrative work like manage users and courses and things like that. But the front-end side just has these courses listed. You can get more details about them, and you can link out to the course hosting site. So I'm in the process of transitioning this. Do not go and purchase courses at this moment. I want to compare Gemini 3 Pro, GPT-5, Claude Sonnet 4.5, which is a pretty good coding model, but so is Gemini right now. And I want to try DeepSeek. Which button do I press? This one or this one? I guess this one. Is that right? I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to go into here and create all these accounts. By the way, I only have ChatGPT and Gemini, which everybody has, I guess. So I'm going to go over here to atoms.dev. Build your ideas with agents. Basically, this provides me an interface where I can do something called race mode. And I'm going to select engineer. You can also do team if this is going to be like a team discussion of agents, but I'm going to do engineer because I want an implementation. I'm going to select race mode, and then here you can select different models, but I'm going to go click on this little cogwheel and select 4 different ones. So Gemini Pro, GPT-5, Claude Sonnet 4.5, and DeepSeek 3.2. Save configuration. And now I just provide my prompt. I'm gonna go to the home page here, zoom out a bit so I can take a screenshot of this, and I'll see what it can do with a screenshot. There's that, and I'm gonna go into a details page, take a screenshot of the details page as well. Good, let's upload these. Here we go. Create a modern premium course website with a clean editorial layout that feels calm, polished, and highly intentional. Yeah, I used AI to generate this prompt. Use the provided screenshots as the visual source of truth. Build a landing page that lists courses with clear filtering by type and enables smooth navigation into a focused course detail page for any selected course. And boom! This is really cool. So it sent those 2 images to 4 different AI models. So far, I'm not seeing much work being done. Oh, looks like Claude Sonnet got started first. It already has a file and folder structure. It started writing code. Now DeepSeek is pretty cool. DeepSeek is starting out with some architecture first. Gemini 3 and GPT-5 don't have anything yet. Maybe that's a good sign. I don't know. Yes, look at them go. GPT-5 already has a bunch of files. I wonder what they're using here as the framework. So the original application is actually written in React and is based on Gatsby. Is that still around? I haven't touched this in a couple of years. Gatsby was the cool thing when it came out back in 2017. God, has it been that long? Now, this is not a very complicated application, of course, by any means, but I want to see which one of these will get the closest to the UI design and some interactivity, because I did not mention any interactivity. So we'll see which one creates the navigation between the pages, if any. And yeah, this is just a front end. From here, you would take this thing and you would create a back end for it, which, by the way, Atoms also does. While that's happening, let me pop open a new instance of Atoms, and you'll see that it has the capability to do an Atoms backend. You can also do deep research. It's basically like a research assistant that relentlessly digs through the internet finding stuff for you. By the way, these people have different names, these characters here. Mike is the team leader. Alex is an engineer. Emma is the product manager. We've got David as a data analyst. Bob is an architect, and Iris is the deep researcher. There's different personas. It's kind of cute, but you can actually talk to them and ask them to do different things for you. So you can add David for data development, for example. And since David is an agent that specializes in that task, if you ask David to do something for you that's going to be data related, it's going to be more inclined to do it in such a way that a data scientist would do it, or data analyst. I know, you're gonna argue with me. The data analyst and data scientists are not the same thing. I watched Luke Barusa's channel, I know. You can also do a connection to Supabase. So if you're doing a back-end project, you're gonna need a database. Of course. And there's integration here where you can create a connection right here. So you can create a new organization in Supabase right from this interface. And then your implementing agent would be able to utilize that connection. Oh, this, what? Gemini Pro went off the deep end, is doing its own thing. But hey, that looks pretty modern. Not exactly my style, but hey, maybe that'll work. DeepSeek 3.2, still busy. It's probably the slowest model here, but it's the cheapest. So it's gonna cost you the least amount of credits. Yeah, you have to use credits in order to use this. You can check out the pricing here. There's monthly, annual, but even if you're paying for Pro $15 a month and you have access to all those models at the same time, it's not bad. All right. We're getting close to DeepSeek being done. Let's take a look at what Claude Sonnet 4.5 did. It did a bunch of work, wrote some files, blah, blah, blah. You can follow the steps and version 1 is complete. You can switch here to an editor mode and take a look at the code that it generated. Looks like it's using TypeScript. Bonus. Tailwind. Excellent. Some of these I'm not super familiar with, like Lucid React. I've never used that. I'm not sure what that is, but there's always something to learn. Looks like we're using Vite here. Now we can switch to the app viewer, and I really want to see this, so I'm going to pop this open in a new browser window. This is kind of cool because look at that background image. It's very similar to what I had, and it generated that on the fly. NativeScript Core, NativeScript Angular, NativeScript Vue. It has the core color, it has the Angular color, and the Vue color. Not exactly the same colors, but close enough. Join free training webinar. Let's go to courses. Hey, that's... wow. It did that in like a couple minutes. It took me a lot longer than that, I tell you that, back in 2017. Oh, wow. What? That is so cool. It actually did the whole navigation. Look at that. And it's doing the filtering. It did everything. The images are interesting. It generated them, so it's pretty cool. It's got the little tags that are interactive when you hover over them. It picked the right font for NativeScript. All these blocks are interactive. I'm actually kind of impressed by what Claude Sonnet did. This might be the winner, and it's the first one I looked at. And if I click on any of these, they actually have content in them. Oh, wow, the chapters even expand. Oh. Each one of these is interactive. I can actually link to it directly right now. That is really good. Okay, so that's Claude Sonnet. No wonder everybody likes that one. Let's back off here and go to Gemini 3. Let's see what we did here. Pop that open. Now this is a very different vibe, right? It didn't exactly use my vibe at all. It just said, you know what? That's old school. I'm gonna do a new thing. But this looks really nice and clean. It has a sign-in button. Courses does not work. Mentors, none of these buttons work up here. Atelier, I don't know why I called it that. Okay, let's go down here to curated courses. Maybe there's still something we can do. Nice. So it did not get the sense of what my courses are about. It just has generic courses. I don't think it even took into account my images here. Maybe it got some guidance from it, but the filtering is working, which is really nice. It goes into the details page. Excellent. Interactivity is definitely there. Pricing is there. There's a lot of little areas that are really well laid out. I'm not a designer, but any of you designers, this looks pretty good. I mean, as a template, I'd still have to replace all the images. I'd have to replace all the content. It's too bad that they don't have chapter/lesson. So that's gonna give me a little bit more work. It's clean, but it's not as good, I feel, as the Sonnet 4.5 creation. Let's go back to GPT-5. Look at that. DeepSeek 3.2 is still working. Let's see what GPT-5 did. Ooh, what is that? Gosh, that's ugly. I think that's just a background image. It just took my image and used it directly. It looks pretty ugly because, well, I didn't want it to be used as the background image. Let's get into the HTML here. I'm just gonna turn that off in developer tools because that's just way too ugly. We can't have that. All right, let's see if these courses sort. Design, engineering, yes, they do, but I hate it when pages jump like that, but you know, that's fixable. But the sorting works, which is kind of cool. Let's go to view details. Yes. Oh, that background is back. I don't know what this is. The layout is not great. Com courses. Okay, interesting. None of these other pages work. This is not great. It's just a bullet list. Not impressed with this one, gotta say. It's workable, but it's gonna require more work. And I'm about less work. That's why we do these things anyway. By the way, I want to just quickly glance at the code here. It is using Vite, so same technology basically as we had with Claude Sonnet 4.5. TypeScript, good to go on that. It came up with all these courses for the sample data, but it didn't use any of mine. I included the titles, but it didn't use it. So basically the same technology. We got Radix for state management, Tailwind, Zod, Zustand. Looks almost the same, but the implementation is so different. Let's take a look at what Gemini 3 did with the code. Vite, TypeScript, Tailwind, same story, Radix. Now here, I wonder if the agent, Alex, if the agent provided any kind of guidance to the model, saying like, oh, I want to use these technologies. I want to use Vite, I want to use TypeScript, and maybe that's why all these use the same technologies. I'm gonna just venture a guess and say yes, but that's not something that we have visibility into. The only visibility we have is what's listed here on the left. So we have Alex Engineer basically creating a to-do list of what needs to be done. And I've talked about this on the channel before, is before you start implementation, you always wanna have the AI, or you write it yourself, a to-do list, an architecture, a general overview, or you have the AI generated for you, and then you tweak it before you do any kind of coding. So yeah, here the agent is providing some thoughts, and these are some thoughts that definitely influence what the model is going to generate. So we've got thoughts including things like source app.tsx, which is going to lead the model to infer a few things, like we want to use TypeScript, we want to use React. All right, let's see. That's 3 down, and we're still waiting for DeepSeek. Is DeepSeek gonna... Oh, DeepSeek just finished. That looks crazy, but let's check it out. First of all, let's take a look at our code, and I bet you it's gonna be the same. Yep, TypeScript, Vite. There's the to-do MD that was generated basically by the agent. So we have a bunch of details provided to the model by the agent. Tailwind, Radix, all the same stuff, but very different results, right? Let's take a look at App Viewer and pop this open. Ooh, transparency. Look at that. This is an open source model, folks. This looks pretty good. Okay, here we go. Does the courses button work? Yes, it works. Instructors? No. Pricing? No. I didn't provide any of the information, but the courses link works. That's good. It gives us a template of how to extend that main navigation in the future. Sign is there, getting started is there. What do you want to learn today? I don't think that's gonna work. Search courses. Yeah, that didn't work, but it's interesting. That frosted glass effect, I don't know. Recent frosted glass effects kind of annoy me, but that's a whole different story. Not gonna talk about that here. You know what I'm talking about. You know, look at these cards for the courses. They're really nice. I mean, in my opinion. In my opinion, maybe a little old school, I guess. Because look at my original cards. They're kind of like that too. Anyway, they have enough information. They have the course level. They have what type of course it is. They have a rating, how many people. They have a lot of information they're presenting. This is kind of cool, including the price. Click on view details. Ooh, that part does not work. It does not go to the details page. Oh, that's a bummer. The filtering does not work. Well, DeepSeek got some things good, some things not, but basically none of them got it 100%. It's just that some got it more percent than other percent. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Which one is your favorite? Put it down below in the comments. I'm curious. The thing that you have to do now is decide which one is your favorite and click on I'm loving this one. And once you do that, the other ones are gone, so you have to commit. And I'm gonna say that I like the Claude Sonnet one the best, even though it does have a lot of placeholder functionality, but placeholder is better than no functionality. Courses, these work, the interaction work. All I gotta do is replace these images here with my images. Filtering works. Clicking on these gives me the details. It gives me the different sections. Ooh, I forgot to check responsiveness. And this is responsive. It even has a little hamburger icon. This is cool. Who is that guy? That is not me. All right. I really like the fact that this came up with a little accordion here for the chapters. Nice touch. This is by far my favorite one. I'm loving this one, so I'm gonna keep it and I'm gonna destroy the other ones. Oh, did you like the DeepSeek one? Sorry, I killed it. Sorry about that. Anyway, atoms.dev. Check it out. It's got a bunch of other features you can try out. As you can see, they do have a free tier, so there's nothing stopping you from going there right now and checking it out. In fact, use my link down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.